Hey everyone, welcome today on May 31st, Wednesday. My name is Kai Burival, and with me today again is my great colleague Josh Radel.
Hey everybody.
And today, as you see on my screen, we are going to have a look at the Enscape 3.5 release, the latest version of Enscape, all the features and new functionalities and graphics and quality improvements. I see there's still people coming in, so let's wait for a couple more seconds so everyone gets in and settled. This webinar is being recorded, by the way, so don't worry, there will be a recording of it available afterwards. Usually it's people coming in a little bit later asking that, but anyways, getting that out of the way. And it seems like we can start taking a look at what we are going to cover today. First of all, maybe a little bit of a disclaimer. Enscape 3.5. If you are a Enscape for Mac user, you probably already noticed that the version is different. This is a Windows only release. So if you are a Mac user, you're using Enscape with Mac, that's great. And trust me, we are tirelessly working on a upcoming update for Enscape for Mac that is expected throughout, the second half of this year. So stay tuned. This one is Windows exclusive. So let's check out those features. And Mac at some point in the future will also be brought up to the level that you see in Enscape 3.5 for Windows today. Okay, let's start and check out the topics we are going to cover. So, first of all, majorly, Josh is going to show us Josh is going to show us a overview of the adjustable asset system, and multi-asset selection and multi-asset editing. The major change in functionality that comes with Enscape 3.5. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Afterwards, I will take over and will together with you, take a very detailed look at the improvements in quality of indirect lighting and reflections. We're going to explain exactly what that means later on. There is an updated alpha channel functionality for semi-transparent compositing, which we'll check out. Revit 2024 is being supported now, and along with that comes the support to, or the ability to create orthographic views from Enscape into Revit, along with a crop region sync. We have a new user account area in the Enscape interface, and last but not least, Josh is going to show us a change that is, I think, going to be very welcome by our Rhino users about asset placement on Rhino layers. So that would be the overview so far, and I think we can get going. Josh, are you ready?
I am ready.
Wonderful. Then,
cool. All right. Yeah, let's jump right on in.
Can't wait.
All righty. Let's do a screen from you. All righty. Hey, Joe, question. See my screen okay?
All good.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, hey, everybody. So one of the biggest features for Enscape 3.5, like I mentioned, is the adjustable asset series. So that's where we're going to be able to adjust the materials and colors of over 100 different furniture items and accessories, an article of clothing on 40 different human or brand new human assets, and a much heavily requested feature is being able to change the color of vehicles. So we have over 90 vehicles that we can change the colors of here, and also some assets that include variants as well. Our 100 different autumn trees, some potted plants, some sports props, and some street props as well. So let's jump right in and check it out. So what you can do is, first place you can access them is obviously in our asset library button inside of our design application Revit here. What we're going to show is obviously inside of Revit, but you can same exact thing in all the different design applications. So we can see down here on the bottom there's a tag for adjustable. So once you click that, you're going to see all the different variants and assets that have variants or have the ability to be adjustable. So you can notice in the top right hand corner of the asset itself, it's going to have a 1/1 or a different variant, so a different number here, like this is 1/2. The ones that are 1 of 1, you can have the ability to change the color of them as well, and you can filter out by the different categories as well, and you can also favorite them as well too. So let's play some furniture. So let's go down here and let's try this one here. This is 1 of 3. So once you click on that asset, it's going to pull the different variants from the bottom here. So let's try this one. And in Revit, what I'm going to do is click place asset on surface. I'm just going to click the surface I want and place that asset. And we're going to be able to see that new asset pop up here. There we go. Perfect. So let's check out what's going on here. Oh, let me spin this quick. There we go. Perfect. Cool. And there is our new asset that was placed. Now, what we can do is let's look at the ability to change colors of materials. So I have a vehicle in the back over here. Here we go. So again, one of our heavily requested features was the ability to change colors of vehicles. So if we go up here to the asset library button, now what I can do is select that asset, and it's going to pull up with that asset here. And notice a new little icon here in the bottom of the name. What that's going to do is give you the ability to change the albedo color of the image. So now what you can do is you can click on anyone. So let's say I want a blue car. And a cool way where you can preview that is click that, and now you can see, what that color is going to look like here. Now what I can do is click back in there, and if I need to get a specific color, what I can do as well is I can go into the advanced tab here. I can type in the hex color, or I can use my little picker right here, scroll to select the color that I want. I want a red vehicle as well. So let's go change it to a red color. There we go. Perfect. Can even change it over here as well too. And let's make sure that's exactly what I want. Perfect. And all I have to do is hit apply changes. So again, we have 91 different vehicles that have the ability to have the colors changed of the vehicles as well. Now we can look at doing this for people as well. So let's go and find a person that we can make adjustable. So if I go to my tags and click adjustable, and we can filter out the categories by people as well. So let's go here. So we can click in place, and then we can see, I can notice it has a variant by the bottom right-hand corner here as well. And once I hit apply changes, we can see those changes being applied and obviously push back inside of the host design application here. Perfect. So now what we can do is select that 3D model, click it, and we're going to get the options to change an article of clothing. So in this case, it's their shirts, and we can flip between the different ones and see what that's looking like as well. And once I get one that I like, let's do this one. Perfect. I like that one. And now we can hit apply changes here. Now, let's look at the ability to do assets and change multi-assets all at once. So now what we can do here is we can scroll out and we can do a multi-asset selection. So the first thing that we can do is if I hold shift and my left click, I'm going to get this orange rectangle that pops up. So now I can highlight everything in the scene here. There we go. Perfect. And what this is going to do is it's going to pull up all the different assets that I've selected here. And it's going to show me the quantity of all of them that are here. Notice there's ones that are grayed out, and then there's ones that are not grayed out. So the ones that are grayed out are assets that do not have variants to them. The ones that are not grayed out are ones that have variants to them. So we can see here, let's change this to Deciduous Tree. So if I click on that one, I can see the variant that is going to be. And now what that's going to do is, you see it's going to replace all that with the new variant. I can click Apply Changes, and it's going to push those back inside of the host design application here as well. Perfect. Now what I can do is I can keep working my way down, changing all of these if I would like. Click Apply Changes. There we go. Perfect. And now what I can do as well is there's another way to do multi-asset selection. So let's go inside of my kitchen here. Now what I can do is, if I go back inside the Enscape window here, what I can do is I can select that asset, and if I right click, it's going to give me the option to select all of those chairs. And what I can do now is this is where I can pick between the different variants as well and have the ability to change the colors as well. So if I click that variant, all of them are going to change, and we have the option to change the material of them as well. We do have the option to change the color of them as well. And again, have the option to change the albedo color. And if I'm satisfied with this, all I have to do is hit Apply Changes. And again, it's going to push those changes back inside of the host design application for us. Yeah, and that's our new adjustable asset series. That's the ability to change some colors of assets and yeah, multi-asset selection. Kai, what do you got next?
That's so cool. Thanks a lot for showcasing that. Let me take over my screen. So we can now, just change all of the trees to autumn, all of the bushes, if they support it, of course, the assets, in one go. That's really cool.
Yeah, very powerful workflow.
Okay, taking over my screen. So my topic today, my main topic, is the improvement in global illumination in GI and indirect lighting in Enscape, something that our rendering engineers have been working a lot over the past couple of months and have achieved really great results. And my plan for now is to first make everyone aware of what all of that scientifically sounding shmoo actually is. Global illumination, multi-bounce global illumination is what we've been working on. And then we're going to compare some actual examples. So we've created some renderings from Enscape 3.4.4. So really like the very latest version of Enscape. Compare those to 3.5. And I think it's going to become obvious where the benefits lie. Short disclaimer: this is a RTX capable hardware feature only, so you have to have those ray traced hardware shadows. Ray traced hardware acceleration enabled in the Enscape settings. You have to have RTX capable hardware. If you do, you benefit of all of these improvements that we're going to show now. So first of all, what is indirect illumination? What is global illumination? In reality, things very much behave like you see it on my screen right now. We have a light source, and this light source of course emits light. That light might hit an obstacle and then hit a camera. In real life, this happens billions and billions of times around us, and light is bouncing off pretty much indefinitely. On the computer, we don't have this. We don't have the luxury to calculate as many lights and as many light bounces as we want to. But this is like the simplest model, as you see here. Light leaves the light source, hits an obstacle, then hits the camera. However, again, just to visualize that, in a complex lighting situation, it much rather looks like this. So a photon can leave a light source, hit, in this case, the sphere, bounce off, hit the floor, bounce off again, hit the wall, bounce off again, hit the ceiling, bounce off again, hit the sphere again, and finally hit the camera. That's just one example. There's an unlimited amount of them. But this makes, as you know it in real life, if you have a red floor, the ceiling will be illuminated in a red light as well, for example. If there is a lot of light in a situation, objects with a strong color glow. You know that from Enscape already. It is perfectly, it's the normal look of Enscape. That's what makes the quality so good and so precious. But it is limited, especially in reflections. So those are the main topics that we have, let's say, increased this functionality for with this release. What does that mean? We have better, more bounces and better indirect lighting quality in general in any scene. And especially in reflections, that becomes very, very apparent, as you will see in a moment. Let's compare the first example. Here is a nice shot from Enscape 3.4.4. If you don't know the comparison, it looks great, but actually we have a little low lighting inside here, because the light that comes in from the outside is fairly bright, and it should bounce around in our room here. And with Enscape 3.5, as you see, that's exactly what it does. So we have a much softer, cleaner, more global illumination. That's exactly what it is. Also, as I mentioned, this is especially apparent in reflections. So we have a pool out there, and this pool captures the environment, but this environment that you see as a representation in this pool does not receive additional light bounces. So it looks very dark in this pool, which makes the whole pool stand out quite unrealistically. With Enscape 3.5, let's check out the difference. It looks like this, and you see our pool works as it's supposed to be. It gets the lighting of the environment in the reflection, so it doesn't stand out as a black void. Another nice example. Here we have another reflection. This is a mirror. This is something that works just fine in Enscape by default in your scene, but in the mirror, we just have to simplify the scene. With Enscape 3.4.4, it looked like this. However, this curved light fixture up there is metallic, is a little bit reflective. So actually what it's supposed to look like is this. And we see it very clearly. Now we have this additional reflection on this curved light fixture inside of this mirror, which helps us to convey the shape of this light fixture also in the mirror. So we have a just much more realistic looking reflection. Here's another comparison back, 3.4 and 3.5.
You're even getting the reflections in the
monitors, right?
Monitor. Yeah.
Just wanted to say that. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Also, the changes in the monitor. Let me scroll back so we can see it clearer. Monitor black, monitor reflective. So once again, the scene just works better and is more realistic in reflections. This is not the last of our comparisons. Let's continue. Also here, a nice scene. We have some estimated shadows in the reflection, and in 3.5 those shadows are just softer, cleaner, more realistic. Again, jumping back and forth. In the bottom left corner you see the Enscape version, and with 3.5 you just get an overall cleaner and more realistic image. Next comparison. There we go. So here too, nice scene from Enscape 3.4.4. However, a lot of light in our ceiling area there, and with Enscape 3.5, just way more overall, well, global illumination. That's exactly it. You don't have your own light source up there in the ceiling area. You don't have a lot of shadows, but the overall geometry in the scene, it's a very difficult scene, lots of curved shapes, and the overall geometry, the occlusion, the ambient occlusion essentially of our walls. Before it would look overly bright, now it looks way more grounded and realistic. More examples here. Nice example, 3.4.4. We have a very simplistic reflection there. No light effects, no shadows on the reflection. Also, our plant looks very, approximated kind of in the reflection with Enscape 3.4.4, and then again the comparison with Enscape 3.5. Let's check it out. We see a much cleaner reflection there. We have the shadows, we have the realistic lighting in the reflection as well. The plant works from all sides. Once again, let's go back. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like with Enscape 3.5. We're still not done. I have a couple more examples to go. This is a really nice one. I really like this. Again, with Enscape 3.5, we have just overall more believable shadows, more believable reflectivity on the floor itself. This light fixture, the curved one, again, works so much better in Enscape 3.5 in the reflection. And also something that really drives this point home is the reflection of the light behind the cupboard. So we have light shining from the outside, sunlight into the reflection, and in Enscape 3.5 we now see this light coming back towards us through the mirror from the outside. So we, once again, I repeat myself, but we just get an overall more realistic outcome. Another really nice example here, our bathroom looks really dull in the reflection essentially. There is no reflection on the tiles in the mirror, so it looks, very flat. Also, check out the faucet. We have no information from the back side of this faucet. It is reflective, so we get a very, very dull and gray backside of this faucet. And also this sink, the stone sink, looks very imprecise in this mirror. And with Enscape 3.5, whole different world. We have reflection on our tiles in the mirror. We have the backside of the faucet that looks great. We have the backside of the stone sink with lots of great information there, reflectivity in it. Once again, the comparison to 3.4 is very, very obvious. We just get a much better result as soon as any mirrored reflective surfaces are being involved. One last comparison. This is the simplest one probably. We have a mirror in a mirror, and with Enscape 3.4.4 this is what it looks like. It's just gray. With Enscape 3.5 we have additional bounces, additional reflections of light rays in the reflection itself, so we can provide a more realistic outcome. I hope it becomes clear how powerful this update is in general for your graphics in Enscape if you have RTX capable hardware. So I hope you have lots of joy trying it out. It should affect all of your renderings right away, and we've already received great feedback in the forums regarding this. So can't wait to receive more of that. Josh, what's the next topic? Oh, I don't hear you. Are you muted?
Ooh, sorry about that. There we go. So we're going to look at the improved alpha channel export. So you start by...
You want to take over your screen again, right?
Yep.
Wonderful,
so
thanks.
By sharing my screen here. There we go. Perfect. All right. So previously in 3.4, when you were doing renderings where there was a glass window or semi-transparent materials and you had to go composite the background out, it would be very difficult to do that because things in the reflections or semi-transparent materials would not show up. So with 3.5, we have addressed that, and now reflections are going to be a lot better and showing up in this export. So for those that don't know, to get to this, you have to go to the Visual Settings tab, and you have to go to the Output tab, and you have to have alpha channel export selected. Make sure it's a PNG. Do your export, and what you're going to get for these is these different material maps, and you can bring those into Photoshop as well. So I have a Photoshop scene already set up. So here's what you would get in 3.4. So we can see when I put like a gradient background in there, there's supposed to be reflections in the glass, but there's nothing really there. And what you can do too is when you're applying different backgrounds as well, you can see it's not really too realistic because there's really no reflections in our glass. So now this was 3.4, and now we can see 3.5. So now we can see we're getting better reflections. All of that is showing up inside of our reflections now when we're compositing, and we can try out different background images as well. And we can see when we move the background image, to really get that more realistic shot that we're looking for here. We can see all the different parts of our model in our reflections are showing up just as they would in real life. And we can see more of it showing up inside of here as well. This is where this is really going to help out a lot, save a lot of time when we're doing compositing of background images as well. And again, to get to that, all you have to do is go to the Visual Settings tab, go to the Output tab, check the Export Material ID, Material Depth Channel, Alpha Channel, and make sure Alpha Channel is applied, and you're going to get these different material maps. So again, for those that don't know, here is the Object ID map, here is the Material ID, that's the Alpha mask, and the Depth map, and here is the image with the Alpha channel applied for it. That was 3.4, and now with 3.5, here is what we can get for that image as well. So we can see the differences here as well. Again, 3.4 is on the left, 3.5 is on the right, and we can already see our objects that are supposed to be in the reflections are showing up and carrying over into that export.
So all of those beautiful new reflections can also now show up in your post-processed
Exactly.
images.
Exactly.
That's so cool. And the alpha channel now is no longer just white and black, it also has gray areas in it, if I get it right.
Exactly. Yep. Correct.
Really cool. Thanks for presenting.
What you got next?
Then I guess, yeah, right, it's my turn again. Then I'm going to take over the screen. Let's see, where do I do that? There we go. So, there is some news regarding Revit. First of all, we do support Revit 2024 now, so if you are using Revit 2024 with this latest update, you can simply use it with Enscape. So that is a major step forward. We also introduce a change to the creation of orthographic renderings, creation of orthographic views using Enscape. So from Enscape into Revit, let's align my views here. If I decide to create a new orthographic view, which would look like this, in the past with Enscape 3.4, no matter how far I would zoom in here into my model, the resulting orthographic view in Revit would always show the whole project cropped. So there was no distinction in the cropping, how much I zoomed in or out. So a couple of users mentioned that they would enjoy having that ability in Enscape. So let's open the view management and create a view from this orthographic view that I have in Enscape. Let's click create and let's review it in Revit. And as you see, we get something that resembles the cropping that we have in Enscape. So at least the width of the of the window is taken over. We're essentially starting the view after we've created it, zoomed in. See it like that, exactly. So that's a really powerful new addition. Apart from that, you also find a new user button in the Enscape toolbar. And again, this is it's irrelevant what design application you are using with Enscape. I'm just trying to make my Revit here a little wider so we can see it, but it's the same for SketchUp and Rhino and ArchiCAD and Vectorworks. You have now this user account, Enscape user account button that allows you to open your account overview where you can sign out or sign in. You can review your license data where you see how long your license is valid, your machine fingerprint, etc. You can enter or review your promo codes, and here you can also access your upload management, and that hints at a certain other way we can access this interface as well, namely directly through the upload management. So if we click this button, we end up in the same interface now, just directly with our panoramas and web standalones opened. The functionality within this interface stays the same, so you can still upload your panoramas, remove them from the cloud, create QR codes and things like that. We just have another button, the Enscape account button, that leads us directly to this area. So that's the changes here. And with that, I give it over to you for a last time, Josh. Am I right?
Yep. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Kai. All right, I get the screen. All right, so with previous versions of Enscape and Rhino, when you were placing Enscape assets, they would get put on the default layer. So you really didn't have a way to choose which layer to set them to. So that kind of made the workflow a little difficult to manage the model and manage how assets are being shown inside your layer hierarchy. So with Enscape 3.5, now you have the ability to place assets on whichever layer you would like. So you can have if you like, you can have a layer for Enscape people, Enscape assets, and now you can apply those Enscape assets to those specific layers, so you can have finer control over that as well. So that's a new thing for Rhino users in Enscape 3.5.
So let me recap. You place an asset on a layer, and it's sorry, you place an asset in the scene with the layer activated, and it's gonna be placed on the layer that is currently activated.
Exactly.
Nice and simple. Sounds great. All
Yep.
right. With that, thank you very much, Josh, for presenting. Thank you very much for helping me with this. And
Exactly.
thanks to you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks the same. Thanks to you for having us and joining in today. And we hope you enjoy working with this new Enscape version. Thanks for being with us, and don't hesitate, as always, to share your opinions with us in the forums, in our public product board, so we know how to design Enscape 3.6 for you as well. Until then, thank you so much. Stay safe, and see you next time. Goodbye.
Yep. Bye, everybody.